How to get a 250,000 business loan incredibly fast, even if you have a poor credit score. Hi, my name is Michael from Viral Funding Solutions, and in this video, I'm going to go through this thoroughly, showing you the program, the qualifications, the requirements, and everything you must know to get this huge lump sum. Or maybe you want to get approved for a certain amount and take out as much as you would like, and so much more. But before I get started, if this is the first time you're watching me, I do come out with content like this on all small business loans, alternatively, cash advances, business credit building, and many more opportunities for you to take advantage of online. So if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Click that bell notification icon right next to it so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out with. Let's get right into this. So the expectations of getting 250,000, let's break this down over here. This isn't scripted, by the way. I'm going at this with you right here in the flesh. So to get 250K, is our goal. But we have to think about, what does it take to get to 250K? So for the majority, most lenders, if we're taking on a lot, won't lend. Rule of thumb is they'll give you about 10 to 15% of your annual sales, your income coming in. And that's what you would expect to have. Now, fortunately, there are many various ways you can get a hold of this 250K. And there are many options. Again, I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. But for a good rule of thumb, what we want, what the lenders are looking for, what the underwriters want to see too, more specifically, are like 3 to 6 plus months of bank statements. We want to maybe even verify your last year's taxes or a form of taxes. We might want to see some financials, some profit and loss, bank balances, and this balance sheet. So we can go through it and see, well, what is it showing us that will want us to get you approved for this 250K in funding. So we get a little bit more extensive when you request higher amounts. And a lot of it isn't always to verify, yes, it's to verify proof of income and profit and all these things, but we also want to see ownership. We want to make sure there's no fluctuation or we're not missing something. Maybe there was a previous owner. So there are some things in there that you might not have thought of. So to get 250K, the criteria that I just mentioned, some of the documents you'll need. Now let's kind of get into what one of these programs may be. So one of the places I recommend where you can get up to 250,000 for an unsecured business term loan is with GoKapital. And if you're unsure of what this is, I've left a separate individual video where I go through it more specifically down below in the description. So make sure you check that out. But you can get from 20,000 to 250,000 for your business. You can apply this for any means you want for working capital. You have payroll, marketing, more employees you want to get on board, a team. You want to do so much more with this, you can do it. Now, this is just one program, and there are specific states where this program is offered. This is for a longer term. And if you don't qualify within these certain states, I'll have a different program for you. And we can also talk about it with a funding submission form that I'll leave down below in the description. So I'll have a contact form for a way for you to get a hold of me. Just submit some details in there. I'll analyze and evaluate your option and options and give you a very thorough email and show you where to go from there, what's best suited for your specific needs. But funding available from 20,000 to 250,000. Time in business is all we see here is 3 months. Annual revenue is 240,000 or 20,000 plus per month. Business industries, no restrictions, only for-profit businesses as it should be. Credit score, no minimum, although we'd like to see around a 500. But we are very flexible with that. Ownership, it's only 25% required. You'll see in some instances where we require you to have 50, if not the full 100%. So there's a lot of flexibility there. Application process, online and a phone call with an analyst. Funding documents, you just put your driver's license, a voided check, and a business bank statements, which is very common. And then the state eligibility. Benefits of this, monthly ACH payments, longer terms, you get up to 10 years. No prepayment penalties. Funds can be used for any purpose. Build your business credit history. Receive funds in 24 hours. Consolidate existing debt if need be. So you can see there the requirements and the benefits. I won't go too in depth again into this, but GoKapital is one great way if you're looking for longer terms, these monthly payments. Although, like most unsecured business term loans, not like an SBA, these have a medium to higher interest, which is very common that you're going to see in any type of program. So this is one way you can get a business loan which is through an unsecured business term loan through GoKapital. And there are various ones, again, if you don't qualify within the states. There may be other unsecured business term loans, but keep this in the back of your mind. And I'll come back to this right here. What is your revenue? What I mean by this is, are you sufficiently doing enough annually to justify getting you that 250K of a business loan? As I said, most lenders give you up to 10 to 15%. But we can also do a format where we do 1 to 2x of your monthly. So to get 250K, let's say you're doing 250K. So if you were doing 250K, then we can do maybe 1 to 2x of that in a specific type of loan / cash advance. So we may be able to lend you from 1 to 2x, so from 100 to 200%, excuse me. So 250 times 2, without even using a calculator, but I wanted to show it here so I can see it for myself. So it'll be 500,000. So to get 250K at a minimum, do 250K. At a most, you can probably get is 500K. So to get 250K too, you could also look at it this way. You're doing, let's see. You're doing 150,000 plus per month consistently within each of the last 3 months. So then from 150, let's see here, 150 times 2, obviously that's 300,000. So to get even in the ballpark of getting 250, you have to be doing enough to justify for that. And this is just one of the many examples. So 150, excuse me, from 150 to 300K. So we can do 1 to 2x of your monthly in that case. So there are many ways of looking at that depending on the type of product you go for. And the way that the one that I'm talking about is a company here with David Allen Capital Inc. You can apply today and you can get up to 2 million this week. Funds within a day to 2, approval within a day, within approval, funds deposited within 1 to 5 days. So it depends on your file and what you're needing. But this is a very quick, straightforward business capital you can get to inject into your business. And this is one of my #1 recommended places outside of GoKapital. And not all the times will you be able to qualify for 250K in funding. We have to, again, look at things like revenue, time in business, credit score. Usually it's FICO, and we can do credit worthiness and compare that with business credit if need be. But somebody like David Allen Capital, we don't report to the credit bureaus, so it won't affect anything in your business credit side of things. It's just look at a personal credit score. And so this is one of my recommended places to go for. And I won't get too in specifically what the costs include and what are the terms, what are the rates, and the payment style and all of that. So I'll leave that down below in the description so you can check that out and learn more about it. But you're getting a bird's eye view of what you would expect there. And you can even get up to 25,000 same day instant approval funding through their Bank Breezy program, which a lot of people have actually taken advantage of, as well as the business capital up to 2 million. So those are just a few options of the many and number ones that I recommend, like GoKapital, where you can get up to 250,000 of an unsecured business term loan with longer terms, monthly payments. It'll be a medium to high interest rates, but somewhat minimum qualifications and lending within certain states because there's some compliances that we have to have. And maybe it's not offered in your state, so I'll have to try to have an alternative for that. And then a company like David Allen Capital, where you can get 1 to 2x of your monthly, incredibly fast funding. And like I said, again, if you are doing 250K, we can do about 1 to 2x of your monthly, so 250 to the 500,000. But again, we have to look at things like revenue, FICO, time in business, non-sufficient funds, if any, negative bank statements, background checks. We might have to do a thorough analysis on your bank statements, maybe ask for a little bit more, maybe ask for last year's tax returns, or do a profit and loss statements, and if necessary. And then you get on a call with an underwriter and just to go over and see maybe what type of problems you're having, which is a very common thing. And then your projections, where you see you're going, and because we're dealing with a lot more money. So these are a few of the many options. And I talked about how to get to your 250K goal, how most people, you have to be doing to get what you want, that 10 to 15% of your annual sales is what you have to look at. And then a company like David Allen Capital, where you can get 1 to 2x of your monthly, and have more flexibility there as well with 1 to 2x. So that'll conclude everything in this video. Hopefully you got value out of this. Make sure to look for those pieces of content down below in the description to learn more about DAC, which is David Allen Capital, GoKapital, and a few other programs if necessary, grants, SBA, ADL, and that material will cover it more in depth than I have in this video. But there are alternative products like unsecured business term loans. There are secured ones. A lot of the times you see some where they ask for collateral, like even banks would, but these are unsecured, not have to put any kind of collateral. But if it's necessary to make some kind of way, then maybe. There's cash advances out there. We can get 1 to 2 extra monthly, one of my #1 recommended places. And it's not always a need to have these monthly terms with longer monthly payments with longer terms. A lot of people do think that, and I won't get too specific into that. I'll try to leave a piece of content for that down below in the description that I've already created. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please let me know. I know I didn't get too specific on each product, like equipment financing. Maybe it's into real estate financing because we're talking about business loans here, lines of credit specifically, cash advances, and so forth. So I'll leave information for that too. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so and click that bell notification icon so you do not miss any future videos I will be coming out. Thank you.